I truly feel for women. I really do. I don't. I'm dedicated a whole platform to my the fact that I do feel for women. That's pretty much at the core of my platform. Is I don't pity women, right? But I do feel for them because I experience it to some degree. I've been a part of it, whatever I've contributed to it. Like I see what women are saying about men. I see why women feel the way they feel about men. Um, Interpersonally, politically, doesn't matter. I can see it. I can see it without a doubt. So I mean, if you are a person and you're a human being, you have no other choice but to have empathy for the plight of women. But every now and again, well, I won't say every now and again, but often I come across content that really like tugs at me, and because I'm like, man, that I could I could see that I can identify with this right here. Um, and when women are talking about like their narcissistic husbands and boyfriends and baby fathers, that's something that I like definitely feel. I definitely feel that because I experienced narcissistic abuse from a man, my father, um, and I also continue to experience narcissistic abuse from men. Doing what I do, being in this space, right? Which I've spoken on TikTok. I did a whole video on this. But I definitely, like me personally, I can see it, and I like to drive that point home because it's important for men to hear a man say, "I see it. Like I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I hear what they're saying." And yeah, I use anecdotal experiences and examples, right? No problem. That's what I do. I do reaction videos. Some of this stuff is anecdotal, a lot of it is. But I do like to point out the fact that I never come across these videos of men explaining how their wife is narcissistically abusing them. I never come across these videos of men crashing out, because they're single fathers. And when they tell their story, you're like, damn, that's terrible. That tracks. Never. But I constantly come across videos like this, right? Like it's just it's disheartening to say the least.
So, my husband, our son, and I were just in the living room, and I was explaining to my husband our son's school schedule. Our son starts school tomorrow, and he starts middle school. And literally in the middle of me talking, my husband just walks away. And then my son looks at me and he whispers, "Mom, he hates you." And you know what? My son is 100% correct. He sure does.
Not only does she feel, she is bearing the brunt of the abuse, but her son is also, picking up on the abuse. He's also going through it too, because now he sees his mom experiencing the abuse. If the child isn't experiencing it directly from the father, which I doubt that he isn't, but if he isn't, the child is still, I guess, like vicariously, secondhandedly getting the negative experience, the narcissistic abuse from his father. Right. This is something that my son would say to me, by the way. My son is very perceptive, and most kids are very perceptive. And I think um, a lot of abusive men don't know, they think they're hiding their abuse from their kids. And that's why you see a lot of men, they'll be like, the kids will come around one day, they'll realize they'll come back to me, they'll give me a call. Like, no, 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 no. They know who you are. They see it a lot of times. A lot of times. A lot of men make that. This is when they do the whole like parental alienation bullshit. But whole time it's like you alienated yourself. Like you alienated your children by disrespecting their mother. The mom didn't even have to say anything. So what's going to be the excuse when that baby doesn't want to be around you? You going to say the mom poisoned them? No, you poisoned your child against you. But this is how it starts, right? It starts here. in these relationships. This is where the anger happens. It's where it starts. The rage, right? They call it the female rage or whatever. This is where it starts. And this is where it ends up.
Okay, this is a crash out post. I'm currently crashing out. Sorry in advance. Women, do not get married and have kids unless you plan on and are capable of becoming a single mom. Because 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, I don't know, statistically high, that's probably what's going to happen to you. Now, I love being a mom. I really do. And in fact, I quite enjoy most of the time being a single mom. This shit is not fair. The world is not set up for single moms. You will struggle. I don't care what job you have. I don't care how much you get paid. Especially in this economy right now, okay? The world is not set up for single mothers. It will be fucking hard. It will test you in ways that you didn't know that you could even be tested. You will have to fight for those kids, most likely. You will have to fight for those kids. You will have to wake up every morning and question, just real talk, if motherhood is really something that you want anymore, because these men make it so hard. They make it so hard to be a mom. They take away all of the tender moments of motherhood that you could have had, but you were stuck in survival mode. So you didn't even really get to enjoy it. You're just fucking surviving, trying to raise these kids, trying to do the best you can, and you get $250 a month. What the fuck? That is pennies. That is the gas money it is taking me to drop them off at their father's house and pick them back up. $250 a month. And my ex is a nurse. $250 a month. I'm sorry. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. These men will take everything from you. They will promise you so much. They will promise you so much. And it will feel great at first. It will feel peaceful at first. And for some fucking reason, when you have their child, they will abandon you. They will discard you. Even if they don't cheat, even if they don't do anything significant, they'll emotionally turn away from you to the point where you leave. I left. I can't be in that. It is not what we were promised. It is not what you think it is. I promise you. I promise you. And before you come on here and say, oh, well, my situation's not like that. Good for you, honey. You are in the 1% of women that are very lucky. Because the rest of us don't have that. And the rest of us become single moms. And it sucks because all I wanted was to be a mom. I love being a mom. But the best parts of my motherhood were taken from me. And in fact, the first time I got pregnant, the man said he couldn't have kids. And then fought me in court for 5 years. Fought me in court for 5 years. To take away my son that he claimed in the beginning he wasn't even capable of producing because he didn't want to wrap it up at first. Yeah. Yep. I can't handle it. I can't handle this. I can't handle men anymore. Y'all are liars. You lie to women. You promise us a lot. We are objects to you. We are things that you put on your shelf. I am a human being, and my life is forever changed. My life is forever changed. I will never be the same. My youth was stolen from me. I had to put my boots on the ground and become a single mom at 21 years old. I didn't get to live. I didn't get to live. I didn't. My life is not what I wanted it to be. Not even close. But I love being a mom. I'm holding space for 2 things at one time. Just don't date men. We are at a point in society where we are waking up to the reality of the patriarchy, which is a very real thing that I didn't used to believe in, and I fucking do now. To what men are really like. I will never see the change in men that I need to see to feel safe enough to ever date again in my entire life. It will take too long. The change that we need to see in men will take too long. It's 100, 200 years from now. So that's my life. So just don't date men. Just don't. Just focus on yourself. And don't have kids with the wrong person. And I don't know how to tell you what man is the right man, because I thought they both were. I thought they both were the right man, and they were not.
And this is an example of the male bashing that men be talking about, and the man hate and all of that stuff. This is what women be talking about. I just literally just got done talking about this. Like, women are getting online. What about her story do you not believe? I'm just out of curiosity. Anybody that's doubting what this woman is saying, or you don't understand, or you can't feel what she's saying, like, I'm just curious, what part of this sounds unbelievable? Nothing she said was extreme. Her reaction may feel extreme, but nothing she said was extreme. Nothing she said was like, I just can't believe a person would. No, I could believe that men have babies and they discard the women, and they don't show up for the kids, and they don't even do anything crazy. They don't cheat. They don't beat. They still go to work, whatever. But they're just like emotionally disconnected from the woman and the child in the relationship. I can wholeheartedly believe that. Wholeheartedly. Seen it before, done it before, whatever you want to say, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I was on that slippery slope myself at one point in time. My wife was like, no, you need to, what are you doing? Like, you have a kid, you need to show up for us. And I was like, oh, I thought I was. And like, it was like a natural thing. That's what it felt like. It wasn't natural, but I'm saying it felt very easy to just be like my wife and kids are like over there, and then I have like my own life. Like, I was still operating as if I was like, I won't even, not single, but like when it's just you and the woman in a relationship, you guys kind of operate like you're single to some extent. You know what I mean? Like, I took into account, like whatever I did that could affect my wife, blah, 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 blah. But like, I could go out and play basketball. I can go work out. I could play video games. I could watch sports. Like, I had hobbies. I could do a bunch of things. Like, but once that baby comes, you can't do that. She can't do that. Why do you get to do that? That's crazy. That's crazy. And the more you help her, you may not be like, the faster you guys get out of that, like where the babies are just like solely dependent on you phase, the faster you can get back to a place where, yes, you'll never be able to have that freedom like you did before, but you could both get back to a place where you can kind of find yourself again as people, as individuals. But men always get to remain individuals, I feel like, in the relationship. And women lose themselves in relationships. It doesn't matter if she's married or not. I feel like, or I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if she's a mother or not. I feel like women like ultimately end up losing themselves in the relationship. They all, you know what I mean? Like, they just have to give up so much just to be a part of a man's life, just so they could say that they're married or say that they have a boyfriend or whatever the case may be. And men don't really sacrifice anything. We don't have to give up anything. We get to remain who we are, generally speaking. It can happen. Don't get me wrong. There are some men who end up giving up a lot of themselves, and but women do that all the time. That's the difference. It's not like there aren't any men who don't give up a lot of themselves, but it's like, I feel like most women give up themselves, but the vast majority of men don't. Listening to her story, I 100%, first of all, it was hard to not, I had like a visceral reaction to, like a physical reaction to what she was saying. Because I felt everything she was saying, like the way she was describing it, it all made sense. It was like, and it came from a very genuine place. But when I listen to men talk about women and things of that nature, I'm just like, this isn't real. Like, you're not justified in how you feel about relationships or about women or about fatherhood. It's fake. It's not real. Like, go get the world's smallest violin, bro. And like, I don't mind men crashing out about fatherhood, let's say, right? About parenthood. But those crash outs can only be directed towards the system. They can only be directed towards the system, as far as I'm concerned. Whatever struggles you're having as a father, I almost guarantee you 1,000% of the time is connected to the system, to you being a worker, to you not being wealthy, whatever the case may be, right? But the women are crashing out not only about the system, they're crashing out about you, about me, about their partners. It's a total different level, you know? But when I hear men crashing out about fatherhood or about parenthood, they're not crashing out about the system. They don't ever identify the system. It's usually like they're telling some like convoluted story about like it's vague, it doesn't make any sense. And she didn't have to give me too many details here for me to completely understand what she was saying. Her baby daddy is paying $250 a month. She said that takes care of the gas that it costs for her to drop them off, which means that he's not even coming to pick his own fucking children up. She's dropping the children off so she can get a reprieve. Because if she doesn't do it, he won't show up. $250 a month. And he's a nurse. And I've said this 1,000 times. I would put myself on child support. And if they said, Mr. Public, you only have to pay $500 a month for child support, I would be like, okay, that's okay. Whatever. Like, that's your decision. That's fine. Right. And then every single month, I would pay more. Right now, I would actually want the courts to, on paper, make me pay more as well. Because again, child support, the institution of child support has so many layers to it, and it affects the mothers in so many ways and the children, right? I don't even want on paper for it to show up like I'm only paying $500, not only for her benefit, but for my benefit. I want it to be documented. I want it to reflect so that if IRS comes after me, whatever the case may be, it's like, they're like, where's your money going? It's going here. I pay $1,500 a month in child support. I want to document it for me, but I also want to document it for her. Because when she goes and gets an apartment, or she wants to go and get a house, or she wants to get a loan of any kind, or whatever the case may be, it's documented. Oh, this is what she's getting a month in child support. Now her income has increased $1,500 a month. She was getting $7,000 a month on her own. Now she's getting $8,500 a month. I want her to have that documentation. So if the court is having me pay a number that I deem to be significantly too low, I will definitely demand that they, on paper, raise my child support for both of our benefit. I will never allow the mother of my child to struggle financially if I can help it. That just doesn't make sense. That's crazy to me. I don't get that one bit. If you can provide for them, that's the easiest thing you can do. I don't understand it. I don't care what you did. I don't care if you was a cheater. I don't care. I don't care what you did. You providing for those babies. That's crazy. I just can't wrap my brain around it. I promise you. I don't get it. Every single time I hear these videos, I literally just don't understand how you as a father are like, yeah, I'm not going to provide for my child. I don't get it. And again, that may come from my childhood trauma of me being abandoned by my father. It could be from that. Or it could just be that I understand on a human level that you should never fucking abandon a child. Either one, I don't care. It don't make it any less valid. And I know the men, they're, what does she do? And that's not all men. And no. I'm not saying it's all men, but she's right. Both of those women, 100%, their stories make sense, because this is what men are getting on the internet and saying this type of stuff. So can you imagine, for every one of him, there's 100,000 men that in their home are doing they're doing the thing. Like, they are terrible fucking humans. This is how they view their children. If you can feel like this about your kids, if there's a man that openly is admitting that he feels like this about his own fucking children, what do you think men behind the scenes are doing?
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all dudes that be like going to court and fighting for y'all kids and spending like $30,000 on attorney fees and doing all this jumping through hoops and all this extra shit, you niggas are way better than me. The moment a baby mama would make me go to court and fight to see my kid when I actively want to be in my kid's life, bro, you guys are way better than me. I swear to God, bro, I would let that fucking kid go. Like, I know it's fucked up. A real man would fight. I'm not a real man. I will not fly that flag. I do not want that responsibility, because if I actively want to be in my fucking kid's life and you think I have to go through the courts to see my fucking child that we created together, oh, bitch, you got me fucked up. You can have it. You can have it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not finna go back and forth. I'm not finna argue. I don't give a fuck about all the judgments that comes with being a quote-unquote deadbeat.
They're just admitting it, and they don't care about the kids. He could try. I want to be in the kids' life. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just listen to that woman. She just said, I have to fight every day. Women have to fight every day. She was in court. She said, I had to fight for 5 years for her other son. She fought for 5 years for her other son. Now she has another child, and she's saying she fights every day. She's not talking about it in court. She's saying just to fucking survive, the women have to fight. The women are fighting for survival, and you won't fight to see your kid? And then y'all, like the first woman, y'all be fucking abusive. And that's why the women don't want you around the babies.